Do you know why Jesus angrily knocked over the tables in the temple? Why he brought out his whip? Why he was so upset? Now, some people think it's because Jesus was angry that there were money changers there conducting business. And although that was part of the problem, it goes much deeper. He was angry because we are the temple that has been defiled. He was angry that that physical building, which is supposed to be a temple reserved for worship for God, was being defiled. The tables he was knocking over in his righteous anger was the love of sin, and how we couldn't keep something so sacred reserved for God alone. So this physical building that the Jews were going to was designed for glorifying God, for communing with God, praising God, learning who he is, and giving of oneself to God. However, they were doing the exact opposite. Now, instead, in the earthly temple, that physical building, and the human temple, instead, we were glorifying ourselves. They were glorifying themselves in the temple. They would commune with themselves over the business transactions to fill their pockets. They had vain praising of God taking place, and not from their hearts, but through rehearsal and reciting to appear like they were holy, honorable men. They were praising themselves. And instead of learning God, they were learning more about the systems of the world and how to exploit others. They turned the temple into a temple of Satan instead of a temple of God. This is why Christ was furious. Now, that is the epitome of what we do and have done to ourselves. We've turned our temples, our bodies, our being into a temple that glorifies Satan instead of a temple that worships and glorifies God. Jesus Christ came to turn over the tables in you, to whip out the evil in you. So let it hurt because it's supposed to. Let him clear out the evil that you've gotten so used to. Just as Jesus declared, I will destroy the temple and in 3 days rebuild it. He spoke of the physical temple. At least that's what they were understanding at the time, the physical temple. But he was referring to himself. And he said, I will destroy this temple and rebuild it in 3 days. He was to be crucified and then risen. You are his temple. So that evil that exists in me, that evil that exists in you, that has to be destroyed so that we can be made new. You have to be crucified with him. You have to carry your cross. That is the only way to rid the evil that is in us and that's caused us to make our temples a temple of Satan instead of a temple of God. You have to die to yourself, just as Christ died, so that you can be raised up and rebuilt of Christ and by Christ, finally becoming a temple of God, as you were always meant to be. So I hope when, I don't even like to use the word Easter, but when Resurrection Day comes, the crucifixion, Good Friday, Holy Sabbath, Saturday, the day of rest, and Sunday, Holy Sunday, where he rose from the dead, I hope this will bring more clarity and more understanding as to why Jesus was so upset. This wasn't just a building he was saving. This was about coming to rid the world of the evil, coming to rid the evil from you, so that you can be that holy, beautiful, perfect creation that you were initially and originally made to be. Much blessings and much love, and take care.